Mambo Team Africa Worldwide. Habari ya Asabui, Habari ya Mchana, Habari ya Jioni. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today I have created somewhat of a challenge. I know that I always say that I am not an Mwalimu, I'm not a teacher of Kiswahili, I'm a student, and I just invite the family to journey with me as I learn Kiswahili. But I often boast on being functional when I'm in Africa. As you all probably know, I spent a lot of time in East Africa, Kenya, and Tanzania, and I repatriated to Tanzania back in February. And I've been home visiting the U.S. for the summer, and I often boast that when I'm in Africa, even though I am not literate, even though I'm not fluent, that I am functional with my Kiswahili. So what I've asked my good brother Baruti to do today is to give me some English sentences, and I'm going to make an attempt to translate those sentences into English, or what in Kiswahili that's called Kiingereza, and on the streets, the barabara, we call that Kizungu. I'm going to attempt to translate our beautiful Bantu language into the colonizer language. We're going to see how, well, from the colonized language to the Bantu language, and we're going to see how well I do. We tossed around the idea of whether or not we wanted to rehearse this so it can be professional and smooth. However, I told Brother Baruti, I'm either going to sink or I'm going to swim. So we are going to, see whether or not I'm going to be embarrassed. Either way, we'll find out how much work I need to do. So do you have any opening comments, Brother Baruti?
Well, just Jumbo and Dugu and Mchana and Mwema, good afternoon.
Right.
So this, I think this will be, very, very instructive because, I composed about 12 sentences, but I think what will happen is, as you go through them and translate, I might make some comments, depending upon what you say, kind of cross-reference what maybe a Kiswahili translator online may have given versus, in a dictionary. And that might be, instructive. And only thing I want to say, obviously to you and the audience is that let's just say you don't get a particular sentence correctly, or you have a different interpretation. That also could be instructive for people listening because we can kind of make notes on that, Okay. So don't worry about trying to get it perfectly.
Okay, that will save me some work. Just then I don't have to translate it word by word. We can help with the breakdown on that. So all right, I don't know if I'm ready, but let's go.
Okay. Just 1 second. I want to just put something for myself. Okay. And all right. So let me start out.
And we said we're going to go with simple sentences. They can't be like complex. No, but whatever you got, we gonna see how close I get.
Okay. Okay. So first sentence. On the safari in Kenya, I saw zebras, giraffes, and elephants.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to work my memory. On the safari in Kenya, I saw giraffes,
Zebras first. Zebras,
zebra-
giraffes, and elephants.
zebras, giraffes, and elephants. Okay, okay. So I would say Katika Safari, Kenya, um, Nili Ona, um, zebra is felony, giraffes, Twiga, Na Na Timbo is elephants.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so let me try to say that again. Uh, Katika usually means on or in or at. Katika Safari, Kenya, Nili Ona, uh, Twiga Na Timbo.
Okay, now let me say, okay, this is good. So you said everything except for the word for zebras.
Right.
Okay, so let's see if you recall any word for zebras, and then I want you to say the sentence again.
Okay. Um, for some reason, I don't know. Is it like Pamba?
Well, this is interesting. Okay, before I tell you that,
Okay.
Katika is absolutely right. Katika Safari, and then you said Kenya afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to share what an online translator said just on that part of the sentence. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what they did was they put Katika Safari Ya Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
They used the Ya.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me get your thoughts on. Do you feel that you have to put a Ya in front of the Kenyan?
I do not, because that would mean I guess that would mean more that would mean Kenyan safari, because Ya means of. So if you say safari Ya Kenya, that would mean Kenyan safari rather than safari in
In
Kenya.
Kenya.
In my opinion. In my opinion.
Let's see. See that right there is probably an interpretation. So, for example, if someone said a Kenyan safari, like English, Kenyan safari, that may mean to a lot of people a safari of Kenya or a safari in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe in general, you may not need the ya, but
Right,
that's the way the translator had it.
right.
Okay, now the Niliona, yes, I saw, and you got of course, the right word twiga for giraffes, natembo, and elephants. Now let's go to the word for zebras. Now, what's funny is, and I made a note of this earlier. Whenever I had learned about the word zebras, it was always punda milia as
Okay.
two separate words.
Okay.
Punda for the donkey, and milia is kind of a shortened version of milioni for a million because of the stripes. So
Right.
like a million stripes on the donkey.
Okay.
But
Okay.
what's interesting is that on the online translator, punda milia was one word.
Yeah, I've seen it as one word. I knew it was something that started with a P. And I knew an N and a D was in there, but I couldn't really get it all together. But I've only seen it as the one long word. But it's like that a lot of times, just like when you say goodbye, a lot of times you might see Kwaheri and you might see it separate KWA and then Harry HERI. But most of the times today you see it as smashed together as one word.
As one word.
So
Okay.
it's a lot of Kiswahili words that I think kind of morphed over time.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So great on that. Um, do you want me to say the sentence again? You just re-say it, or you want to go to the next sentence?
We go to the next one.
Okay. All right. And number two, um, today I bought fruits, vegetables, meat, and juice.
Ooh-wee. Okay. My memory is not the longest, not the best. All right. Today, I bought meat,
Fruits
fruit.
first.
I bought fruits, meat, and juice.
Fruits, vegetables,
Oh man, fruits,
meat, and
vegetables,
juice.
fruits, and juice. Man. All right. Fruits, vegetables, meat, fruit, vegetables, meat, and juice. Okay. Um, Leo Nili Nua, um, um, Matunda, Mboga, Mnyama na Juisi.
Excellent. Okay, now that's okay. I want to. I made a note here that, in fact, that's exactly the way any kind of translator, puts the sentence, exactly as you said it.
Okay.
But I made a note here because, interestingly, I was looking in a dictionary, and in the Kiswahili dictionary, the dictionary also used as a synonym, instead of saying juisi, or in addition to saying juisi, they said maji ya matunda. Now, I
Yes.
thought that was interesting because we know that maji means water. So
Right.
water of the juice, water of the fruits.
Right.
And so that's very interesting that water of the fruits would also be used as a synonym for juice.
Right.
Now,
Right. I have seen that. I have seen that.
now something else too is that when you see in some dictionaries the word mafuta is
Mm.
also used for juice, but that's kind of deceptive because upon further investigation, that's not juice in the context of how we mean juice like water from fruits, but this is juice in the context of oil.
Right. Whenever I hear mafuta, it's in the case of oil, be it cooking oil or if it's even petrol for your transportation, your car, your gari. We go to, like, if I tell a driver, take me to the mafuta station, you know, yeah,
Right.
that's the gas station. Or if I tell, wifey, is at the Saucony grocery shopping, and I say, oh, don't forget we're out of mafuta, it's oil, for cooking. So I've never heard it used as fruit, or juice. I never heard it used as juice.
Right. Okay, so very good. That was number 2. Number 3, cab driver, please take me home.
Okay. Cab driver, please take me home. Uh, dereva ya taxi, tafadhali, um, tafadhali, um, tafadhali, unaleta nyumbani.
Okay. Okay, so let me go back to show you something on a translator. So yes, dereva for the driver, but here they use dereva wa cab.
Mhm. I've never
Now,
heard the word cab being mentioned.
now you use ya taxi, yeah, taxi, and TEKSI.
Mm.
So that means that's kind of like one of those, Swahili words that's kind of derived from obviously the word TAXI.
Right.
So yes, sure, any of that would work. Dereva Wakab or Dereva Ya Taxi.
Right.
Okay, and then Tafadali, yes, please. And then you use the verb here, una letra, right?
Right.
Now, in the translator, it used nipeleki.
Mm-hmm.
Nipeleki was used as take me, and then the last word nyumbani was for home. So I wanted to just point that out because I think that we can certainly use synonyms for different kinds of things. I'm trying to look up. Let's see if I look up just in a dictionary, una leca.
You know, like that's a new one for me. I'm not familiar with that word at all.
Let's see.
And you might want to you might want to pull your monitor forward a little bit because you're getting a lot of space above your head. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's
Okay,
better.
does that work? Okay.
Yeah, but
I don't see una leca. What was the
later means to carry. That was the closest I can come up to.
yeah,
Uno leto means you are carrying. So that's the closest
right,
I
you're
can think of.
carrying.
You can take, but you know what? Take is actually shukua. I should have said una chukua. Una chukua would mean you are taking.
Right.
But I use the word for carry. Una leto,
Carry.
we carry.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. To
Because
carry.
I'm thinking una chukua when you take is like sort of like you taking an item. So since I'm in the car I'm being transported, I say
Transport.
I'm saying una letta, so it's
You,
meaning when you carry me.
you know what's interesting on that? Let me look up something. That's interesting. Um, I want to look up the infinitive. I want to look up the infinitive transport. Okay, so just as a verb, if you were to say to transport, it could be kupelika.
Okay.
So that's kind of similar to where the translator had it, nipeleki. But yes, to transport. That's interesting as well. To transport. So to carry is to transport.
Yeah.
But I guess in the context
And
of
I think the average, that's the thing too, a lot of people don't know. It's just like English. Like you could be a native English speaker, but if you are, a cab driver, that's your profession, and not, you are Uber driver who came from the corporate world, lost your job and find yourself Uber, but you a cab driver by profession, and you in the car with college professor, some of the words that college professor used that cab driver might not know. And that's the same way over there. It's a big time education gap. So if I were to use the Kiswahili word for transport, there's a good chance that driver doesn't know that word either. So that's one reason why when you are a non-native speaker in another country, a lot of times you want to go as simple as possible.
right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And in fact, this is kind of the way I kind of envisioned our conversation going, because even though you're translating the sentences, anything to do with language gives context to, social meaning
Oh yeah.
and other sorts of things that go around
Right.
that idea.
Right. I mean, I remember when I was studying Spanish, I had three different Spanish teachers in addition to my self study. And my favorite teacher was the one who gave me the context and the context and the history behind the words versus a bunch of, grammatical rules and stuff like that. I felt like I really understood certain words, as a result of him doing that, so that's kind of like my approach to always, put put context around the language, because that's what the end goal is understanding. That's the whole purpose, in my opinion, why people in the diaspora, why we need to learn Kiswahili, not only so we can reclaim our language that was stolen from us, but also so we can understand one another, understand our brothers and sisters outside of colonial context. So for me, I mean, this whole journey is about understanding, so we can unify.
Right. And also a projection of ourselves to others and to ourselves.
Right. Right.
Okay. The next sentence is, my plane leaves at 7 p.m. tonight.
Ooh, you're making it hard on me, because when you translate into Kiswahili, they have something called Kiswahili time. And
right. Okay.
Kiswahili time, you have to add sasita, which is 6 hours. You have to convert it. You have to add 6 hours onto the time, and I always forget if I'm supposed to be going forward 6 or back 6.
Okay. Now, in this case, you're right. But what I want you to do is, I don't want you to think of the translation in that way.
Okay.
I just want you to think of the translation as though you were strictly thinking of translating from English. Exactly.
Okay. I'm gonna do it that way, because that will make it easier for me. But I just want the viewers to know that if you do it this way, when you're talking to native Kiswahili people, they're not going to get the same meaning. They're not going to know what you're talking about at all. Because once you go into Kiswahili, you can no longer use the what they call East African time. You no longer use East African time, which is connected with the rest of the world. You're using Kiswahili time. So I say my plane leaves at 7 p.m. Tonight. I would say ndege wangu ndege wangu inaenda ndege yangu itaenda saa saba jioni leo jioni. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me say it again. You said tonight, 7 p.m. tonight, not this evening. Ndege yangu itaenda saa saba leo usiku.
Okay. It's pretty close. A difference in the verb, though, that you use. Let me tell you what the translator said. Okay.
About itaenda, it will.
Yeah. They didn't use itaenda.
Okay.
They used kuondoka.
Okay.
As the leaves, but yes, they still did the ndege yangu.
Okay. I'm familiar with kuondoka. Yeah.
Okay. Could you spell that verb?
I said that more of the Kenyan way, and kuondoka, I believe, would be more of the Tanzanian way. I believe.
Okay.
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. Tough it out.
Okay. And then certainly Saba. But now what happened is you used Leo Usiku.
For tonight.
Okay. Right. However, the way the translator did, they used Usiku wa Leo, like kind of like the concept.
I think that's one of those computer glitches that will get you laughed at. I don't think anybody says Usiku wa Leo. If somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, Leo Usiku. Yeah.
Right.
But it's amazing that the way the translator did it, they kind of, went with the idea about the almost really literally the night portion of today.
Right.
That's almost what they really did.
Right. Right. But mostly how I've always heard is today night.
Yeah,
If you
today
want,
night.
like for instance, if you want to say tomorrow night, you would say Keisho Usiku. If you want to say
Right.
last night, you would say Jana Usiku.
Jana Usiku, yeah.
Right,
So what you're doing, you're specifying when,
right,
and then specifying the adjective onto it.
right, right.
Okay, very good. All right, sentence number 5. Tanzania has a population of 63 million.
Ooh, okay. Tanzania has a population of 63 million. Okay, I will say Tanzania kuna watu milioni sitini na sitini na I'm sorry, let me back it up. Tanzania has a population of 63 million. Tanzania kuna watu milioni sitini na tatu.
Okay. Yes. Okay. That's fine as well.
I didn't directly translate population because, like I said, that would be probably one of those high post words, and I don't know what it is to be honest, but that would probably be a word
Right.
going over people's heads. So I said Watu, which is people.
Right. Right. So, okay. So the way I see what you did is you basically said Tanzania has 63 million people.
Right.
Okay. Now let me just share with you the way the translator hooked it up.
Right.
All right. So instead of has being, you said kuna, they use ina.
Okay.
So Tanzania ina. And then for population, which really is population of people, without it being said, they use idadi ya watu. So idadi technically is population, but we know that population, it really is population of people. But if it's going to be people plural, it's already a population. Right. So that's why, as you said, you didn't need to come up with a word for population. You can just put people itself, and that's explanatory. Right. Okay. Now, what's interesting is that you used sitini na tatu for the actual translation of 63 into words. But the way the translator did it, they didn't translate 63 into words. They just used the numerical value. And so what they did was they put milioni 63.
Okay. Yeah, but of course, there's no way for you to say that out of your mouth. So you can write that, but you can't say the numbers without, saying the numbers. So that's Satini Natatu.
Right. Right. So that's really good too. All right. Next sentence, number 6. Can you give me directions?
Okay. Okay. Now, I cannot think of. Okay, here we go. Can you give me directions? Okay, directions is slipping me. I'm gonna tell you two ways I would go about that. Can you is unaweza, and lipa, not lipa. That's to give, and that's to pay. So what is the other one? I think it's Nipa. So it's uno weza una nipa. Can una nipa mimi? That would be can you give me? And I would say um 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 to end the, and this is not proper English, but this would be the best way I would work. I mean, proper Kiswahili, but this would be my, because I don't know the word for directions. I would say, um, uh, Nina, Nina in the VP, like to go how. And then another way you can say is you can just come out and say, I need to know how to go. And so I would say something like Nina Hitaji, Nina Hitaji Kujua, um, um, Nina in the Lipi, VP. And that's the best I could struggle through.
Okay, let me show you what a translator did. They certainly came with the first word, can you?
Okay.
Unaweza. All right. Then about the give me, they use kunia mbia.
Okay. I know Nipe. Nipe is
To
give
give.
me, give me.
Yeah. Okay. So really, I think that on a practical level, we could go unaweza nipe.
Right.
They use the more complicated word kunia mbia. And then for directions, they use the word maelekezo.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that word.
But you know what? Let me. I want to let me just see what kind of synonyms I can find for directions. Um, Tell me the words you used.
I just
Nina.
said Nina Enda. I am going. You know.
Oh,
uh,
okay.
yeah.
Let me just. I'm just trying to see for directions. Just
Or like you said, to go, to leave also mean, like you said, they have tuna doka. Tuna, I could say Nina doka means also to leave.
Yes.
Or
Guess what? Now this is funny here. See, like in a dictionary I'm looking at, mwelekeo,
mhm,
Mwelekeo, mwelekeo is
mhm.
directions or direction. Sorry, but maelekezo is directions plural. Let me repeat that. So let me see. So direction is welekeo, just direction singular.
Mhm.
But then directions is maelekezo.
Mhm.
Um, so and then spell the word that you had, Nila Enda. Nila Enda.
Nila in the that would be NIL. I mean NIL uh, IENDA. I no, that would be I went. Nina in the I am going NINAENDA.
Yeah, Nila Enda. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So interestingly, we could probably
Mhm.
you could probably
And,
short.
and a lot of times, I instead of saying directions, most of the times I would say where I'm going if I'm asking for directions. I always might say something like I would tell them where I'm going, like name of the hotel, the name of the park, the name of the building. I usually would say that, more or less. How can I get to this place? You know what I mean?
So what do you think about this? Unaweza nipe nilienda. Would that work?
Ulianza, Blipe, Ulienda. Well,
Or
when you say
nilienda. Or well,
Nilienda, well, that would be that I went. That would be asking them where did I go. So we have to put it as the present tense and say ni na, because na means now and li means did it already. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be more like Nina Enda. Because we say Neely in that meant I went.
Right. Nila ended.
Nila in the means I'm going.
Okay. Right. Right. You're currently in route.
Right.
Okay. So what if we went with that sentence? Unaweza nipe Nila enda.
Yeah, that would be saying
Would that work?
that they would be looking at you like you're crazy, but if they have good input skills, they might figure out what you're talking about. Because what that would literally translate into is, can you tell me I am going? It's like, how am I gonna tell you where you're going? You don't know where you're going. But that's the best that I could come up with. Hopefully the person has some mercy, and tries to help out a little bit instead of just dismiss you. A lot of people, they struggle and they try to make ends meet. They ain't got time for you when you're type of correct. They like, man, you dang foreigner, get out of my face. I don't have time.
So in Kenya, they might be like, well, he's trying, but in Tanzania, they might be like,
you know what I noticed? If it's a sister, a dada, she'll work with you a little bit. If it's a kaka, nah, they're not, unless you know them from somewhere or something. If it's just a stranger and it's a kaka and you ask for directions, the best you gonna get, number one, they might ignore you, but the best you gonna get is, ask him over there. And then that next person gonna say, go ask him over there. I learned that. They keep telling you different people. You ask the question, I don't know what they talk about. Ask him over there. Ask him over there. No, but then a sister will be like, I walk up to you, Kaka, what you need, Kaka? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's been my experience.
All right. Next one, number 7. The group played drums, flutes, and xylophones.
Oh, you're killing me. I'm going to be honest. I don't know any musical instruments.
Yes, you do. In fact, some of these you already know. And I guarantee you already know. You in fact, you already know 2 out of 3 of the instruments I mentioned.
Okay, say the instruments again.
Drums, flutes, and xylophones.
Drums, flute, and xylophones. Okay. First of all, the group. I don't know a group, so I would say Timu. I would say
Team.
As team, the team, and then played. I would say, you said played or playing?
Played.
Played. That would be Wally Cheza. Wally Cheza. I would say Timu Wally Cheza, and then drums. I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say maybe that's bongo. And
okay, that's interesting.
Flute and trumpet. Like I said, I don't know. I know for whistle was like for limby. I don't know. I'm gonna take a fail on that one.
Okay, let's go through that. Okay, so for group, you said Tima. That's like from team, right?
Right.
Okay. Now for group, we can use kundi.
Okay.
Okay. Now a translator, in terms of the word for the play, they use Lila Chaser.
Okay.
Okay, and you use Wally Chaser.
Right. You know what? And I'm wrong because Wally Chaser it's talking about more than one, a group of people, but a team is a singular unit. So they're right.
Well, okay, so that may be of interpretation too, because group, like team, is a singular word that embraces the collective.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have groups. You can have a group. That a group implies an entity that has more than one. But if you say there's several groups plural, that may mean that you have like team A, team B.
Right.
Each entity is its own thing that embraces the plural, but you've got multiple of them.
Right.
So maybe it's possible.
It's good logic, but I've never seen it that way. Like if you said players, like individual players, then I could say the players played. I could say Wally Chaser. But if I say the team, then Illy Chaser makes more sense because it's just that one unit. So I'm gonna give myself a thumbs down on that one.
Okay.
All
All right. Now here's for the instruments.
Okay.
Ngoma. And Ngoma is going to be the drums.
Okay.
But the reason why I thought that you were going to immediately say Ngoma is because we know that as part of Kwanzaa, people often use the word Ngoma as a generic name for just drums.
Okay. That one slipped by me. I've been to my fair share of Kwanzaa events, celebrations, but that one slipped by me.
Okay. Now the one for flutes is Filimbi.
I came close. That was close.
Right. Now here's for the xylophones, and I know that you would have heard this word. People use this word all the time. In fact, this word for xylophones as an African word or the Swahili word is just used in this country all the time. You ready?
I'm ready.
Marimba.
Okay. I have heard that before, but I didn't really know. Yeah, I didn't really know that was a xylophone. I think I may have heard that like in the context of maybe like Cuban music or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we gonna put a big X on that one. I'm humble enough to take my losses.
Okay. Okay. All right. Number 8. Here's one that you'll like. Chicken and rice is a great meal.
Okay. Chicken and rice is a great meal. I would say kuku na wali ni chakula tamu.
Okay, so use tamu. Whenever I hear tamu, I usually think of sweet of some sort,
or delicious. It also equates to delicious.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Delicious.
Now, so you use tamu for delicious.
Because great is a hard word to translate. A lot of times somebody might say mkumba, but mkumba really means big. So the meal might be talking about the largeness of the meal rather than, I really enjoyed the meal.
All right. Okay. Right. Okay. So now they're great. You kind of translate it as in size.
It could be. If you said
could be a great meal, like a great big meal.
Yeah, it's like great big.
Okay.
Ate a lot.
Now you used tamu for delicious, and that's kind of what I had in mind when you say great. However, let me tell you what the translator did.
Okay.
They use everything you said, kuku nawali ni chakula, then they use kizuri.
Okay. That would mean good. That's another way to say good or nice. So
yes, but when someone generally says a nice meal, though nice may be kind of a diminutive to great.
Yeah. It would. I guess that's overall saying the whole quality. You probably say the whole quality of everything that. But I chose to use tamu because I feel like it's more specific to chakula.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it really. That's what it
Because
really.
really anything can be in Zuri. You can put in Zuri on any noun and attach it to any
Yeah,
noun.
yeah,
So that's why I chose to go the Tamu route over in Zuri route.
yeah. That probably would work. Let me tell you what I found though. As another synonym for Wally.
Okay.
Another synonym for Wally is mpunga
Okay.
for rice.
Okay. Now you know what? That's one thing about it. That's probably uncooked rice because Wali is specifically for rice after it's been cooked. If you go buy rice at the store, it's not Wali yet.
Okay. Yeah.
It's only Wali after it's been cooked.
Right. Okay. Okay. And see, these are nuances,
Mhm.
of the language that I think that you're pointing out, to the audience.
Mhm.
All right, very good. So the next one, you're gonna have fun with this one. Trust is a pillar, pillar, of friendship.
Ooh-wee. Trust is a pillar of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm, mm.
But I'm gonna tell you, I think that you're gonna get it right, but
Okay.
you may not use
Yeah,
words that the translator did.
I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best. Um, I'm gonna get the closest I can get. Emoja ni yumba ya urafiki. Um, Umoja ni yumba ya urafiki. That's the best I can do. that translates is unity is the house of friendship. I think that's that's my best effort.
Okay, that's good. So umoja ni nyumba ya urafiki, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's go with the urafiki.
Yeah.
Yes, that's translated. Use that for friendship. Kind of looking at Rafiki as friend, and then the whole circumstances around friend being a friend would be friendship, Rafiki. Now let's go with the term pillar. See, the reason I thought you were going to get that one in terms of the way the translator put it is, well, let me back up for a minute. Okay, see, yours is, okay, umoja, you're thinking of umoja as being oneness, like
Well,
solidarity.
I was using that one for trust. I use
Right,
Yumba
right,
for
house.
right,
Right. Right. Now you're using umoja like oneness as in togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so oneness is in Yumba. You're using Yumba's house as being a pillar.
Mm-hmm.
Here I understand the context, and then Ya Urafiki. Yes, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in your mind, this is interesting. In your mind, what does the word pillar mean in English to you? How would you describe pillar?
Well, I think it'd be you have a literal pillar, and then you have a philosophical pillar. You have practically speaking, a pillar is like a beam that holds a structure up. Be it made of wood or concrete or metal or whatever. It's like it holds a building up. Like a lot of times when you see the Roman ruins, which they copied off of Kemet anyway, but people always subscribe it to the Roman or Greek Romans. You have these columns, and they imitated that in Washington D.C. too. and people see those as pillars, those columns that hold up the
Right.
structure as pillars. But on the
Right.
philosophical level, is whatever is the rules or the beliefs that hold institutions together, such as in Islam, they have pillars such as prayer is a pillar, fasting is a pillar, a charity is a pillar, pilgrimage is a pillar, declaration is a pillar. So
Okay.
yeah.
So let me first of all say that in the translator, they didn't use the word umoja in any way for trust.
Okay, I knew that was I was reaching on that one.
Okay, let me tell you what's used, and then I'm going to give you some synonyms to that's used in dictionaries and some words you've already heard before. Okay, so uaminifu, 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 uaminifu was used for trust.
Okay.
Now, if we were to go to a dictionary, here's what they use for trust. Common word in Kwanzaa, imani.
Oh, but I would say that would be faith.
Faith. Okay, now, yes. Now, faith. But faith means a belief in someone or something.
Okay.
As in you trusted their judgment.
Okay.
You trusted their character.
Okay.
You trusted their ability to carry out something that you wanted done. So you had faith in them as a firm belief in what they did before they did it because of your knowledge of that person.
Okay,
So
I acknowledge and submit to that translation. I like the fact that emoji and imani are both words that are used in the Kwanzaa celebration. So I was kind of heading in the right direction, and I did my best.
Right.
But I think imani that's better. The other word I'm less familiar with.
Okay, now here's another word that was used as a synonym, wajibu, for trust.
Okay. Wajibu. Now I know jibu by itself means answer. And if we were to say majibu, that would mean answers, I believe.
No, they use wajibu.
Wajibu, I never heard that.
Yeah, they use wajibu here for trust.
Yeah, I just know jibu, which is answer. I don't know wajibu.
Yeah. In fact, I want to just tell you where I got that from. Yeah, this is actually from the English Kiswahili dictionary. Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me see. Before we go on. Just see. Yeah, trust. Wajibu. This came from the English Kiswahili dictionary that was created from the Institute of Kiswahili Research at the University of Dar es Salaam.
Okay.
So that's interesting, and they have it alongside of Imani.
Okay.
But then they actually start breaking down trust into other words having to do with funds and money, like a trust fund and stuff like that.
Okay. All right, brother. I know we said we were doing 12. What number are we at now?
We're at number 10. Will that work? Three more?
Okay, because we're coming up on an hour, so we might just have to minimize the context and see if we can knock these three out, because we told ourselves we wouldn't keep the viewers too long. We got two viewers who have been bearing with us so far, which I appreciate that a lot. But we're approaching the hour, so we don't want to make it too long.
Okay. All right. Next sentence. The baby drank milk.
The baby drank milk. Mtoto ulikunywa maziwa.
Excellent. Okay. I just wanted to point out real quick that you use mtoto. Normally, I think of child, but you're using it as baby. But then when you look up in dictionaries, they'll use mtoto mchanga. As the as the word for baby, they put mchanga on there. So
Okay.
that's interesting. Or kitoto as a single word for a baby.
Okay.
Like
Little
small child.
Right.
Okay. Next one is humanity started in Africa.
Ooh-wee. Humanity started in Africa. I'm gonna tell you the closest I can get to that, depending on your definition of humanity. But I'm gonna go this route. Upole ilikwanza katika Africa.
Okay.
So,
translator used the verb started as ulianza, but you had a little different twist on ulianza. Didn't use Katika Africa. They just use Ulianza Africa.
Okay.
So that's
now,
how.
So what I did, instead of saying, like, thinking of humanity as just all human beings on the planet, I took the approach of humanity from a philosophical point of view, sort of like civilization. And so I said upole, which means kind of like gentleness or hospitality. And so
Okay.
that's the route
Yeah.
decided to go with.
Okay, let me just say, because we only got one more sentence, we can squeeze in, but this is interesting. For humanity, online translator, they use Ubina Damu. And then for a dictionary, Wanadamu.
Okay.
So they use, in one case, they kind of use a name for people, actually, like Adam, like from Adam. But you use the essence of a human being in terms of kindness.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last one is, you'll have fun with this one. The last one. Okay. The last one is the architecture of houses is round.
Okay. The architecture of houses is round. I'm going to say the best I can do is Ujenga Yumba ni Yumba ni I just don't. I fail that. All I can think of, I know Ujenga just means buildings. I can't think of the word for design or architecture. And then Yumba, of course, is house, and round. I'm just completely out of that. You promised to keep them simple, but you got real complex on me in these last few.
but okay. Now check this out, right? Usanifu is used as architecture.
Okay.
So Usanifu wa Nyumba. So here, the architecture of the houses, then ni, as you said. And then the word for round was mviringo.
Yeah.
and Viringo was round.
Yeah, I could have tried to think of it for the rest of the day, and I wouldn't have come up
But
with it. So
but there is another word, duara,
okay.
for like round, round or circular.
Mhm.
But I want to point out one thing though. The translator used just usanifu for architecture. Period.
I think I've heard Usanifu. I have heard Usanifu. That word is familiar with me, but not for architecture. It's something else, and I can't think of what it is.
But design.
Okay, probably design. Okay.
But if you go to one of these dictionaries and look up architecture, what they do is they put usanifu majango.
Okay.
So what they're trying to do there is they're talking about like the design of buildings,
Mhm.
and the design of buildings is architecture.
Okay.
But I think that the translator used usanifu as in like design,
Mhm.
that it's implied that you are designing something
Mhm.
to do with the construction of an edifice.
Right. Right. So that's why I
So
said if I said Ujenga, then people know that I'm talking about building. That's the closest I can get. I'm building the building of houses. And
right, and
you
remember
know,
the game.
what I would have did was I would have thrown in this because you always can use sign language and body language cues to help when you're speaking to somebody and you don't have a mastery of the language. So I would have did
Right.
something like that, something like this, or something like this, and
Yes,
yeah. So I think I
and,
think I think I would have got my point across if I was talking to maybe somebody who was like semi-educated.
right, and then just for audience sake, as we end, everybody should remember the game that we can find in stores, Jenga, the
Mhm.
building block game, because Kujanga means to build.
Right. Right.
Okay, so that's all 12 sentences. I think you did very well, and I think we got
I
a lot
think,
out of it. We
yeah, I
kind of
think I want to claim 9. I want to say that I got 9 out of 12 correct. Might be being a little generous to myself, but I think I got about 9 out to 12. Yeah, and like I say, I think if I would have offered those 3 sentences that I missed to any of my East African friends, I honestly think they might have struggled too. So,
so
um,
if you got 9 out of 12, you got 75%.
yeah,
So that's actually pretty good. You would have passed any course.
yeah,
Maybe a 75% might be a B minus.
yeah.
And
If the professor's being lenient, you got that 75 to 80. Some people start the B minus at 80. So, yeah, so yeah, that would be more depending on how strict the grading system was. But yeah, because I know in my school, like uh, if you got like straight 80s, even sometimes they would call that a B minus. It just depends on who you're dealing with. But I'll take it. I'll take the B. Um, like I say, I don't feel like I said I was gonna sink or swim. I think I'm still breathing oxygen. I don't think I'm swallowing the seaweed on the bottom of the ocean.
no,
So,
definitely not.
yeah, so I'm just going to continue to study every day, continue to get better. I want to thank the people who watched today. Oh, I see who watched my man Big Ben. Hey, I appreciate Big Ben. That's my brother. Actually, I want him to show me. It was my birthday on Thursday, and he actually got me some items so I can stop being a fake YouTuber. This light right here, uh, he bought me that. And he also bought me this microphone. I was struggling to connect, but I couldn't get it connected. But yeah, we're going hard on this YouTube now, making sure that I don't miss another Sunday without uploading. Yeah, but like I said, I want to thank everybody who watched today, and just continue to learn, continue to build. There's 150 million Kiswahili um, speakers right now, even though they might have different dialects. So there are 150 million Africans that you can converse with if you decide to learn this language. And if we learn it amongst ourselves and learn our own dialect, then we'll have our language. You know, there are people who are trying to come up with crazy languages talking about there, specifically the African Americans. That's a waste of time. It's straight taka taka, as we were saying. Kiswahili is straight trash. It's like if you don't waste your time on something like that. Learn the language. It's a Bantu language. It's not African American or African diaspora anywhere who don't have ancestry to the language groups that people refer to as Bantu. And Kiswahili is probably 80% Bantu. People talk about the other influences from Arabic and Dutch and English. All languages have influences from other languages, so don't let that derail you. Um, thanks for watching. Asante Sana for watching, and Kwaheri Kwasasa.
Kwaheri Ndugu.
All right, thanks a lot, Ndugu. I really appreciate you.
Una Carabisha, you're welcome.